This is Shelby. It's the summer, and I have a sweatshirt on because the past few days of Texas Tech soccer, really yesterday, was in fuego. Oh my god, y'all. What was happening out there on Sunday? Thursday was a little bit not, but they actually played the same and just didn't finish the goals. Yesterday, we saw them finish it. Sibby's breaking your camera. We're going to talk about soccer. It was hype. If you didn't see the game, go watch the highlights. Maybe we'll throw some highlights on the screen for you during this breakdown. And then also get hype because volleyball starts their season with their first matches of the season on Friday and Saturday. They play 5 of them, including Notre Dame is in town in Lubbock. Yeah. So get out there to the USA and watch some fun volleyball. We'll break down some of their opponents here in a minute as well. But first, I'm going to kick it on over to Sibby and say, soccer!
Dude,
what's
soccer.
up?
Footy, it is happening. Also, by the way, what you were saying that you were wearing a sweatshirt because the soccer team was just popping off in fuego?
I was just throwing those together. It's not because of that. Sorry, was that distinction? I don't know. They gave me a fever and I'm feeling cold.
I think that was the best intro we've ever had, is what I'm trying to say.
I'm so hyped. If we would have done this last night, we would have broke the
that's
internet.
after dark. That's
yeah. We'll save that for dark. Later in the year.
Wow. Yeah. So hi everybody. Yeah, soccer, volleyball, all this great stuff. And I wanted to say too, before we hop into volleyball, y'all go check our videos that we got to talk to with a couple of volleyball players. And when you do that and then go watch them play, it is so hype. Same thing with soccer. Yeah. Dude, Shelby, like I was thinking about so many things about what we talked about with Maddie and with Kylie. Yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It makes more sense. Even like the video we got to post yesterday where it's their first home game and we spliced all 3 clips from them talking about their pregame ritual, and it's like, that's the kind of stuff that it's so cool that we get to talk to these athletes, and hopefully we will get to continue that in the future. We're working on it. There might be a little bit of a break, but don't worry, whereas we're gonna fight the fight on that and keep trying to have these athletes on our show because we believe in it. It gives them a platform, and we're proud to do that for them. And hype them up, and tag them on social, and when they're doing all the craziness. We saw it last night. This is y'all. If y'all don't understand why we're so over the top, 1, they make us be that way, but 2, it makes people notice what's happening. We saw it happen last night again on Twitter for soccer, so we won't shut up. We saw Sibby doing it on Instagram with her crazy live reactions. It gets people to be like, oh, soccer's playing. If they somehow didn't realize it, they tune in, they get to see them score 5 goals.
Oh my, 5-0, dude. Like, what an incredible game last night, y'all. And yeah, if you're not following us on Instagram, go do that. And let's jump into it. Are we gonna talk more about the
Thursday game?
Yeah, Thursday game.
I'll give you, I know you were like in and out, so here's my thoughts on the Thursday game, and you can agree or disagree.
And they played University of New Mexico.
At New Mexico.
Okay. There's a lot of New Mexico talk here.
Yeah,
y'all just buckle up.
We played the state of New Mexico this weekend.
Got it. The whole state.
This is going to sound a little bit wild, but I feel like the coaching staff would agree. I think we played very similar on Thursday to how we played yesterday. Mm-hmm. We got a draw off in New Mexico 1-1, and then yesterday we won 5-0 against probably arguably a better team, the Sunday team, than what we played on Thursday. New Mexico's not bad by any means. The problem was we just could not finish for the life on Thursday, and we had so many good chances. I will say on Sunday, which I'm sure you'll get into, the crosses were a little bit crisper, the chances were a little bit easier, but that goalkeeper on Thursday, I think her name Allie Davis or something, I know her last name was Davis, shout out to her, was player of the match. That girl was insane. Standing on her head, it was stupid.
She had 8 saves, dude.
Absurd. Saves, they weren't easy.
I know, and I even texted you because they were saying Allie Davis's name so many times. I was like, but we have majority of possession. We are the ones that are dominating.
We dominated the game.
And I'm like, who is Allie Davis? Is she on our team? No, she's on what?
I wish she was.
She popped off. I totally agree with you. Like we were having those.
We had like 9 shots on goal and only scored 1.
It was a very impressive match for Allie Davis on New Mexico. Hats off, GG's. But
other standouts, Sam Courtright showed out. She was beautiful to watch. I thought Macy was really great in that game. Yep. She didn't score. Sam obviously scored the goal, which that goal, I think she did what we needed everybody else to do that night, and then they did that yesterday. I think Coach, after the game, said the keeper was great. He's not, like, I'm not taking away. She was the player of the match, but we were trying to take layups instead of dunking.
I saw that,
and we need to learn to dunk.
Yeah,
like, that's a great analogy. Sam dunked on them, because if you watch that goal, if you haven't, go back and watched it. She faked a shot, and so the keeper went that way, had the defender spinning, and then she took the shot again. The keeper was out of the way because that keeper was going all out. If you made one move, she's diving for it, and that's why she's stopping everything. But she faked it. She dunked on her instead of did the layup. And Sunday comes around, and we did the same thing. But it was a distinct difference in how and to have that poise as a freshman was really cool to see.
Sam Courtright is a name that y'all are going to hear a lot today, and a lot probably for the rest of your life. And wasn't that goal off her left foot too? Like, is
she a lefty? Because she shot earlier. The shot she took earlier in the same game, she didn't shoot yesterday, I don't think. But on Thursday, the shot she took was with her left foot as well.
Okay,
and it was close to goal.
Sense.
It was a little wide.
I'm looking at her profile right now, and I don't see any information. So
I mean,
Sam.
She kicked. I mean, she uses both feet. Obviously, she's too crafty not to. But it seems like all of her services and her shots were with her left. If I was paying attention.
Okay, well, Sam, can you let us know? Because
are you just ambidextrous?
Of our couch. By the way, you should always do this podcast from the couch, straight from a page from Katie Nolan's book. You should try it out, Shelby. Maybe one day. Just wanted that side.
Hey, when I move, I'm gonna get a real podcast set up, and by real, I mean it'll just be in my living room.
So what's gonna make it real?
It'll be on a couch. You just said that it has to be on a couch.
Okay,
I can't put a couch in here.
Can we commit to the couch? 2024.
Okay, 2024. Committing to the couch. All right.
I love that.
You know what else we're committing to? This flippin' soccer team. Hype. Listen, I'm not. Go ahead.
We're closing the chapter. We tied 1-1.
Yeah, okay, yeah. We should have won 1-0. That weird fluke goal at the end.
And we
listen, our back line is stupid good. They're never gonna allow that type of goal again. It was a little bit of a mosh pit goal, as I find it. Don't know if that's a real thing, but that's what I'm calling it. And we're a little bit disorganized. And New Mexico got a little bit lucky on a bad offsides call to even get to reset from midfield, which is a stupid rule, but they got to reset from midfield. And that's the only way that goal happened with that much time left. Is if they don't get the reset, we don't allow them to even have possession to get down there because we're that good defensively. They got just reset and got that free kick, and it went in. It was great for them. No, not taking away from them. One shot on goal, and they made their one shot.
They made it count.
But we saw Maddie pointing at the girl like she knew where that ball was going. Yeah. For some reason, we didn't get her marked, and then she was put in a tough position and wasn't able to save it. But I wasn't worried about that going into Sunday.
Yeah.
But that was my takeaway from that whole mess. They're gonna give up goals again, but not that type of goal. Yeah. It was so fluky.
I think what's cool about I'm always going to try to find the good stuff is we learned so much in that game of what's working and what isn't, and we were able to highlight that and just kind of like losing it at the tail end of that. But my favorite part is they scored on Maddie and she got that ball out of the net and it was like boom, like you could see it in her face that she's like, oh no, like this is not how I'm gonna have my last year at Tech go down.
No,
and I think that led perfectly into their next game, home opener. 5-0. Are you kidding me?
They almost scored like 5 seconds into the match.
Ashley was already on it. She said, okay, we're here. And that game last week.
Yeah, because her and Kerr would probably argue that they didn't play their best game on Thursday. They were there, they just weren't finishing. But again, the keeper was crazy. Well, those two.
I don't need. Where do we even start in this game?
Let's just go in order of the goals. Okay. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I can remember the goals in order, but Ashley Williams had the first one, so talk about her. What you did.
Ashley Williams, she had an assist from, I believe it was Macy, and Cassie Taylor was in the mix too, which I cannot wait to talk about all of these people. I'm trying to remember, and I have the clip, like I need to go back and look at it, but Ashley Williams.
The goal that was Macy down the back line to cross.
That one?
That's the one I remember being the first.
Yes. Oh, yes. Okay.
That was from Cassie.
Yes, this is what I tweeted about. Cassie Taylor, midfielder, just sends a beautiful pass right up to Macy Blackburn. And what I want people to remember about this is Macy had a touch off, I believe, like either her leg or her head, then a touch off her chest, and then a beautiful touch off her foot. So she maintained the control of the ball of that pass to pass it perfectly to Ashley Williams. And the precision of it was just like so important, but the touches is what made it possible. So huge shout out to that. And then Ashley Williams, you can see her, if you watch the clip again, you can kind of see her calculating her speed, momentum, all that good stuff.
On side.
Doing what she does best. And she just is at the perfect place at the perfect time because she made it happen. And you know what else I was thinking about is how this is their first game at home with grass. So like all of the motion and like how the ball probably is moving a lot differently than what they're used to at home. Like I think this is adding such a layer of electricity when you go and watch them play because things are moving quick and like it's just it's so cool. It was
they
such
did
a great
not
first goal at
slow
home.
down. Like they're supposed to say turf is faster. They did not look slow at all last night. And they only, to further, I think we tweeted about this to make it even more impressive. They practiced one time on that grass. They broke it in the night before.
No way.
It's barely been ready to go. And that's what they tweeted. That's what they made it seem like. I don't know if that's true. They've been practicing over on turf, and so sense. Like it was amazing. And well, you know what? We're gonna put this clip within the show because it's too good. Everything you just talked about. I went and looked at the highlight. Textbook. You hit it, nail on the head. She first touched on her foot, then she turns the corner around this girl like goodbye. Which is not common in soccer, even as me saying this. You don't usually turn the corner down the line. Like you're maybe crossing it down there. She turns the corner on this girl, gets around her, bounces up to her chest. Most people would have lost it at that point. She's like, nah, I got you. Calms it, and then just keeps going and makes that beautiful pass over. Like Macy Blackburn is a wizard. Yeah. Sam Courtright is awesome to watch too. Macy's a year ahead of her. Well, 2 years really. She had a red shirt, really basically medical last year, and she's back. The fact that we have both of them running things, they're not both midfielders, but Macy pushes up so often she might as well be. Mm-hmm. Having them run things for 3 more years, unfair.
Yeah, truly. And I love the return of Macy Blackburn, and she just had an incredible game last night too. It just seemed like everybody was clicking into place, and they brought in like some of that, like whatever it was that they got from the last game of this is not how we're gonna have our season go, and then to have that as a home opener, I don't know, it was just so perfect. And we still have 4 more goals to talk about.
Over 1,000 people there, so shout out Red Raider Nation. Go! I was impressed by that. First game, we'll see if they can keep it going. I'm sure they've been selling tickets all summer for that. We'll see if we can do the same thing, and they got to regroup and do it again for Thursday, but I was impressed. Right. Hopefully Sebi will be there.
I'll be there.
I don't want to put you in there. You've had bad luck. So
yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah. But yes, the goal is to go watch them against Ball State.
Love it. We're going to ball out against Ball State, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Dang. Okay, next goal. What do we have? It's Alex Kerr, I believe.
Elise Anderson, which was also amazing last night, gets it across. Ashley tried to make the diving, sliding kick into the goal, or maybe it was all for show to pull the keeper, because it worked. The keeper probably would have blocked her shot. It made its way over to Alex, who then just had to tap it in, which was, call it me from the mental psychology side, was so important because she has not been up to her level, I think she would agree, until 20 minutes into this game, the second game of the season. She had multiple chances on Thursday that she just shot over the bar, was a little too hyped up. Just to get a little tap in like that.
Yes.
From the rest of that game on, Alex Kerr was
on fire. Yeah, and she
beautiful flicks, juking people out their shoes. I mean, just amazing.
She in that goal where it kind of went between Ashley and the defender. The reason why like Alex was able to score is because she was preparing for like, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be the next person in line. Like, I got you. Like not giving up on the play. When we
staying on side,
staying on side, yes, all of this, that was such a clear indicator of Alex is paying attention. Like she is ready for this opportunity. She's ready to pop off. And then she did. So that was the first of 2 goals. She earned a brace in her home opener in the red and black. And it was Should
perfect. We just get her other goal out of the way now since we're talking about her? Because that was one of my favorite goals of the night.
That was such a good one. It was so good.
I think if you didn't really watch it, like I didn't even catch it on the first one. I was like, oh, that was a really good goal. I thought the goalie just tripped. You go back and watch the replay. okey-doked her, like, made her question her entire life choice as a goalkeeper in that moment. And so calm about it. Like, most people would have just ripped it, like, one-on-one with the goalie, like, they take your chance. I mean, that's probably what it take your chance early in your back corner, and she's like, no, I'm gonna on the keeper. Keeper goes to the ball and just whiffs. And Alex just goes on around her and does what you talked about in our preview of her a month ago, makes a really tough angle shot look really easy. It was empty net at that point because she juked out the keeper, but it was still an odd angle to the backside and easy money. Like, she's like, this team is so fun. Like, I watched them. I'm not gonna say I watched every game last year, but I watched quite a few games just in my free time, watching them as a fan. We're not covering them. And our defense was stupid good. Ashley Williams was fun to watch when she made things happen, but without Macy there running things, Sam wasn't there yet. We did have Teeter, and it's unfortunate she's not here, but it's just a much more fun team, and it's so deep.
Yeah, and that's what I think we've heard from Hannah and Madison and even Tom Stone in some of his interviews of talking about how deep the team is, and I don't think we really, or for me anyway, I didn't really think about it in terms of also chemistry-wise, like these connections and these passes that they're making to each other is
impressive.
It is really, really impressive. And I think that's such a good sign with, we are 3 games into the season. 2 games into the season. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't count Denver, but we count Denver.
We don't count it.
Okay.
2-ish games into the season. And it's looking like this. Oh my goodness.
That goes back to, I mean, they tried to tell us, right? They tried. I mean, Hannah definitely tried. She could not keep her excitement off of her face talking about it. But I think there's 10 total freshmen on this team, which is a huge class. 5 of those entered Texas Tech in January. So that chemistry you're talking about, it's not like these, like, I'm pretty sure Sam was one of those because they talked about how she's been tearing them up all spring. So she was there. And that is such a key. And I'm not trying to say all freshmen should do that. Like, it's your senior year in high school. Enjoy it. It works. Kylie Barr did not do that. She talked about that, and she turned out just fine her freshman year. But it does help for someone like that that's getting quite a bit of, she's a starter. And that comes, otherwise she would have shown up in July. And they're not even allowed to have real practices with coaches until August. It's like 2 weeks of practice, and then you have to play as a freshman. So that's why you don't see freshmen make such a big impact a lot. But now that they're coming in early, kind of like what football does, American football does, I think that plays a part of it. Is people are calling this a young team, but I think that's a bit of a short-sighted narrative, is because they see the 10 freshmen and think it's such a huge freshman class. But we also have like 9 seniors. So it's big on both ends. And so I think it's just a perfect mix of talent and energy.
9
from me.
leaders.
We're only 2 games in. I'm trying not to get super. I'm not saying we'll win. Well, Sibby says we're winning the Natty, but they're stupid fun to watch. Like, tell me who's stopping that stuff. Let us play it. I'm ready to play someone like big time. But let me say it again. New Mexico State they won their conference and made the tournament last year and returned over 90% of their offensive production. And we allowed 6 total shots.
Yeah, Shelby, this is a good team. And
thank you. I'm glad that you, actual soccer person, confirmed my novice beliefs.
Boom, like stamp of approval. I know all. No, I mean, like I think we are. I'm trying not to think about conference play yet. That's where I'm at. It's gonna be. I share the hype with you.
You could be great in the Big 12 and still not make it out of there alive because it's so good. But
a really impressive start, a really fun start, and you are correct. They are very fun to watch.
Okay, I'll get you back on track here. Sorry I got excited about Alex doing a thing. She okey-doked this goalie. She made her goal. That was the
you said okey-doke.
She okey-doked her. She just I'm gonna give you this. I'm gonna take it away, and then I'm just gonna make it. It was, oh my God, Alex. I doubt you're listening to this, but girl, do it again. Magical. Truly. She also okey-doked a girl. Didn't get the finish on it. Late in this first half, down the side, got the pass over to someone, and we just didn't finish the goal. Like, it's in the highlight package because it was that good, and we didn't even score off of it.
Right.
So check that out. But anyway,
makes sense.
So let's go back. We got to give our captain the shine. Hannah actually got the third goal of the game.
Hannah Anderson. She did. Like 1 minute left, I think, in the half. And what was great about that goal is Hannah collects the ball. I think it was maybe after a set piece or something like that. And she was juggling it in the box. And she had 3 defenders on her. They all were like, Hannah's got the ball. We got to go over here.
They knew it was coming to her, and she still got it.
Exactly. So Hannah, what I loved about this is Hannah stayed on her feet until like the foul was committed, until they like tripped her up at the ankles. But it could have been so easy to kind of like get lost in that shuffle and go down and maybe not get a penalty, but she stayed up for a good chunk of time, and she was like, I'm either gonna score here or you're gonna foul. Like you pick whatever you want to do, and they picked that. And so she scored a beautiful PK and made it 3-0 going into halftime.
Yeah, it was. You love it when a defender, especially your captain, gets a score. She talked about how fun it is when she gets to score too. So it was cool to see her get to do that in only the second game of the season, get a goal in there. Well, she gets to go because they don't get a lot of shine if you're just watching the game. Like, we make sure to point that out, but it's hard to be like, oh my gosh, every time they get a tackle, that's all we would tweet about, because all game they're just stonewalling people. Like, these teams don't even get a chance to really get dangerous. They will, as we play better and better competition. They're going to have dangerous moments, but I think New Mexico probably had about a 9-minute stretch where or New Mexico State, sorry, had a 9-minute stretch where they're making things happen, but every time I get back to Hannah, Kylie, Macy, Elise, eventually the times it did make it to Madison, they just, no problem. It didn't look hard last night for them at all.
Yeah. Truly amazing. And we still have one more goal left.
Yeah, so we went out of order, but we had to because we were talking about Kerr. So Kerr got a brace.
We make our own rules here.
Yeah, Kerr got a brace. If you soccer terminology, that means he scored 2 goals. And then our other starting forward did as well, because Ashley got the 4th goal of the night.
She did.
Where she did the gritty. Let them know.
Well, she didn't. She did the gritty after she scored the goal.
She didn't do the gritty and do the goal. Oh my god! Who do you think she is?
She didn't gritty.
I feel like that would have been
the ball into the net, but she did celebrate that way. Well, yeah. I mean, like, we had another familiar face, Elise Anderson, who is just
she was balling out last night.
Balling out. She had this perfect pass over to Ashley, and Ashley.
Let's not forget the flick before that from Kerr to Elise on that play.
Yeah.
Was like one touch flick through 2 defenders and over to Elise, who then made the service over.
She could see it all unfolding. It was perfect. And then, the keeper didn't even have a chance really to react before Ashley had it in the back of the net. And then she wittily hit the gwitty.
And then she did some sort of I think that's how the kids say it. I don't know if they do anymore. That's what I said on Twitter. Wittily, I can't even say it. Wittily hit the gwitty. That's what I put.
So hard.
I don't know. It's just so difficult to say weird words.
I think I said it better than you did, though.
No, 1000%. That was rough. And then moving on. No, she did. Okay. She literally hit the gwitty.
She did.
Better? But before that, she did some like riding the horse thing, and then the whole team was doing it. It was great. I think when we talked to Kylie, we asked her who on the team is most likely to go viral for a celebration without hesitation. She said Ashley Williams. That is why. The girl was gritty in, doing like riding a horse, like all of it for 1 goal. I mean, second goal of the game. And she grittied briefly on her first goal. It was just a quick one because she knew the first goal was really Macy Blackburn's goal. So she grittied over to Macy and then celebrated with Macy because that was such a great play by her to get her to the ball. Like, that's a real teammate. She knew all she had to do was like, she did the work to get there like you talked about, but she just tapped it in. So she was really worried about celebrating Macy on that one. That one was like, she's like going to town on the second one.
It's so good. I love that trend. I'm glad it's still around. No
one else said it, so it might not be a thing anymore. It was us doing that on social.
This is when they like start talking trash about millennials.
Ashley, are you listening?
This is what we're talking about.
We're both I don't know how old Sibby is. I'm in my 30s, so we're going to say stuff that sounds silly, but we're going to do it anyway because you're fun to watch.
I wonder. We're not going to talk about that right now. Anyway, but that's all the goals. Yeah, Ashley Williams with a brace. Y'all know that terminology now. Alex Kerr with the brace. And then Hannah with a
That doesn't
PK.
happen often, does it? When both of your starting forwards have braces? Like, what is this?
Dude, they had time to do that.
Madison
White had time to think about what she was having for dinner.
My girl was just back there just chilling.
She was.
She really wasn't. She was barking out orders and doing her thing.
And she had some.
She's she calling out the orders and stuff, but I'm sure she was thinking about food, as she admitted to us as well, because what else was she doing? The ball was on their side of the field most of the game.
It's all good signs. There are so many different names that were said throughout the night. We could literally go through this roster and talk about
Giametta, Bazooka. Oh my god. Zadarsky didn't do it on Sunday. She had some moments, but Thursday had a bazooka, like her
a launch
fire on shot on Thursday they just missed. This team is so deep.
Yeah, Caitlin.
I feel like every game someone else is going to be like Courtright. We couldn't shut up about it in the first game. She had her moments yesterday, but she wasn't the star. Like, that's a good thing. Like, you got to see Macy and all these other ones step up. So I think that's probably the biggest difference in this year's team than last. I think it's because the way Tom Stone and his staff are able to use the substitution rules. I think they can come out and go back in once. Is we're so deep that he can take Kylie Barr, we didn't talk about her, but give her a shout out too. She didn't get any assists or goals, but the girl is running down that line. She's a defender, and she is pushing up every play, which is what she said she was working on this year. And part of that is she's running lots of miles, so they're able to take her out at like the 20-minute mark in the first half, then bring her back out for the second half, do the same thing. And I think Elise is coming off the bench. And like, what, you just bring her in and she gets 2 assists. She might be starting before long, but we'll see how that works. I don't know. But why mess with it if it ain't broke? So it's just really cool. The depth of this team is, Hannah said that. We could only believe her off her words. Why don't we argue with her? You see it now. Like, when people come in, there's no drop off. At really, I'm not going to say any position, but the positions where they're that's how Hannah described it. So I'm going to use her words. There's no drop off. Like, even with the forwards, when Giametta comes in, when they enter, like, Kerr and Williams are great players, but it's like these come in and we looked just as dangerous at the end of this game. And then the third string, if you will, these redshirt freshmen who aren't going to play a lot probably. They're just getting enough games in where they don't lose their red shirt kind of time. And they're getting out there and they were doing work at the end of that game last night. Like, it's just fun to watch this team play.
Yeah, while you were talking about that, I was like, I'm going to go scroll through our text messages that we were sending each other.
Oh, I can only imagine.
There are so many different names that we talked about last night. And Giametta, we talked about her in a previous episode about how I was hearing her name around, and Caitlin Giametta, dude, I texted you and I go,
the strongest leg on the team. Her shots are fire. Every single one of them. They're going to break a girl's face before the end of the year.
I texted you, I go, all caps, Giametta is trouble. and she was. So
she's the problem, it's her. In the
it's her.
Paraphrase words of Taylor Swift.
It's her. Yeah. And all the names that we've been talking about and we'll continue to talk about, it was so nice to see.
Yeah, there's so many people contributing. It was cool.
And
I'm sure we missed somebody, but we tried.
You know what? And I know I talked about this to you earlier, but for those who were able to watch the game, I don't know if y'all noticed, but there's like thigh tattoos going on this team.
BE 2023 is what it says.
And nobody knows what that means.
They hashtag it. Listen, I haven't had a chance to go back and listen. Y'all
need to call Taylor Swift.
Yeah, we need to. Yeah, we should. But I swear one of them told us that they have like a slogan that says like "beat everyone" or something. But I could be thinking of that might have been a volleyball thing. Someone we interviewed.
All of their things.
Someone we interviewed said that this year, but it all runs together. And then when I saw that, I was like, "BE stand beat everyone." But that seems too straightforward. So I'm probably wrong.
Not. Well, I mean, because the women's
I like want to ask them, but I also don't because like
I know
it's a team thing, and they should be able to have their own thing. But if y'all are listening, drop us a DM and let us know what it is, and we'll let the people know if you want them to know.
Yeah, I love things like that. You know, like you're wearing your uniform, but like y'all were saying, like, you know what, that's not even enough. Let's take it a step further.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's really cool, and I think you're right too. That y'all can keep the reasoning. I'm just saying, I approve of whatever it is.
Yeah, could be something energy.
Unless it says like, "Seeing Scarlett is the worst podcast ever."
I don't think.
Don't do that.
I don't know that would be it because BE, that wouldn't make sense.
Carry the 3,
carry the 4.
Anyway, and then Tom Stone had and you sent me a tweet about this, the story about this injury on the team, and
that was such a good story.
And what Tom had, what's the story behind that?
She's missed 2. I want to pull up her name so I can read it. Do you have her name in front of you? Because I don't want to mispronounce it. If I'm reading it, I think I can pronounce it properly.
Okay, I'm looking it up.
But her first 2 years in the program injured. You would have saw her last night out there with a really big knee brace on, which is never fun to do in any sport, but especially soccer. She was out there playing, and she came back. Let's see,
Cloza.
Yes, I was like, I know it's. I couldn't remember if it was Cloza or Cloza. I was trying to find that.
Yeah, Cloza.
If we're saying that correctly, Cameron Cloza, and she missed 2 years. And listen, it would have been within her right to be like, I'm done. I don't know if she had back-to-back ACLs or whatever, but something 2 years in a row. Even the trainer for the team, I saw him on Twitter, tweeted something like, my day one, because they've spent a lot of time together, for 2 straight years rehabbing 2 separate injuries, and for her to stick it out and then to get in that game. And she had some moments, because I remember you being like, wasn't she the one with a bazooka of her own shot that went wide? Yes. But she was out there making some plays, and so she's not a senior either. She still has time left because she's been injured. She's been here for a while, but she's been injured. So hopefully she'll get some more moments.
I really like this quote too from Tom, and I'm going to read it verbatim about Cam, and I think it gives me I cannot wait to see what's at the end of this tunnel here. But Tom Stone says, a lot of kids that sat for 2 full seasons would have just hung them up. Cam is not that way. There's no quit in her. She was one of the best defenders in Texas when we recruited her, and tonight for her to be on the field for the first time in 2 years, we couldn't be happier. We didn't hesitate. We put her in as soon as we could. Wow, she was one of the best defenders in Texas when we recruited her. And then they, had to move forward with other players with her injury. But who is she? We are going to find out.
Yeah, she had some moments. I think there was 2 girls out there with knee braces on, weren't there? And we were like, how many people have knee braces on?
I know, I was like.
But I'm pretty sure she got mugged. And I was like, I want to fight. I'm ready to fight. And then I didn't even know the full story that she had been hurt 2 years in a row. If I'd known that, I would have been really ready to fight. And then she got up like a beast, it didn't even bother her, because it was a pretty hard tackle. She's like, whatever, I'm out of here. Yep. It's fine. No, ain't no thing.
It was great. And I think the other thing that I noticed, but I'm off social media, but I go on for seeing Scarlet stuff, so it's a bunch of just tech stuff, which is honestly
if you want to, you'll find we're both out there tweeting, but Cindy's tweeting as well, so you're interacting with her on there if nothing else.
That'd be a fun challenge to see if they could tell the difference.
They could guess. Let us know.
I bet it's pretty easy.
Some people sometimes are like, this is definitely a Shelby tweet.
You think so?
No, people literally say that 58% sometimes.
58% free throw percentage, and then combine that with the assist, and then put the...
Stop it.
You are an analytics genius. I would be like, they made so many friends tonight, and it was a beautiful sight.
I don't know about that. You giving out the soccer. You gave out a few soccer analysis tweets last night. You dropped them. I'm pretty much always typing in all caps, so that's usually a giveaway.
I do. My phone autocorrects to all caps all the time.
Now, during soccer, we might have found a new rhythm. If you want live reaction, more entertaining stuff, go over to Instagram, because Sibby's on there doing video stuff. I'm tweeting out the stuff, but it's way more fun to watch her. So you'll probably see mostly me on Twitter and mostly her on Instagram, but she'll cross over. I don't think I'm going to cross over into that. I don't think I need to mess up the rhythm on the story side. Maybe for different sports. I'll let her handle soccer. Unless she's
great at it. You've already been great at it.
No, I'm enjoying it. I would like to say a big thank you to the Texas Tech soccer team. Soccer is one of the few sports that I've never had the opportunity to live tweet before, and I am having a ball. Y'all are fun.
I'm having a great time. Yeah, it's a good time.
Enjoying it.
And then the last thing about the Instagram stuff where we started. Sorry, I was retracking. Shelby and I and seeing Scarlett, we've interviewed so many athletes and talked to so many athletes that I will go on their social media and I'm just looking at their posts about their game and stuff like that, and I'm seeing names of there's so and so from the Lady Raiders, there's so and so from volleyball, and I'm connecting all these names to these different people, and they all know each other and support each other, and they're like hyping each other up on their Instagram posts. And after the game, I was, looking at all the soccer posts, and it was just really cool to see the people that we've talked to and interacted, and like that support system that they have, just like athlete to athlete. It's like, oh yeah, we're all Red Raiders.
They get it. Yeah,
let's go.
We can all support them as much as we want, but they get it. They know what they go. So it's cool. I'm sure that means a lot to the team. I think the entire Lady Raider team was at the game last night.
Oh yeah,
So they came out in person and supported them.
That was so awesome.
And Coach DeRue was there as well. The girl acted like she was going to be there, so I assumed she was. But I saw a picture of DeRue there too. So I thought that was cool. They go to a lot of games. They went to softball.
They do. They show up. The Lady Raiders show up.
Yeah, because they get the same support when they're playing, so they give it back. So
that's right.
I love it.
That's right.
And then y'all can support them too. So to move forward, I don't think we have like a huge preview unless you got some stuff on Ball State, but their next game is on Thursday, this coming Thursday.
At home?
At home. What is that date? 24th?
That's a great question.
At 7 o'clock at John Walker. It is we tried to tell y'all it's a great time to watch a game, a great place to watch a game. Mm-hmm. You missed a fun one on Sunday, but the way this team plays, that's not going to be a rare occasion. I don't know, 5-0 might be a rare occasion, but lots of goal scoring in terms of soccer will be fun. Lots of shots from this team. Great defense. It's going to be a good team all year, and they're going to be in every game they play. Don't foresee them just putting clunkers out there. So get out there on that, and then Sunday another night game as well.
That's right, 7 p.m. against Utah State.
That's a pretty good opponent. So
it's a good one.
I don't know how they are this year, but I've seen their name out and about. Ball State's not a bad program either, I'm sure. So
Ball State, chirp.
Yep. And then so that one's Sunday night. Sunday is a great, also fun game, so you can tailgate all day. You don't have work. Get out there and tailgate.
On a school night? You tailgate on a school night?
The game is after the tailgating. You don't have to drink to tailgate. You can just cook and hang out with your friends. You don't gotta get blasted. You gotta go into the game to watch. Sibby, we're not talking like getting crazy. Like, you can have a few
from Texas for
you can
long.
have a few drinks. You can go watch the game, and then you can go home and go to sleep. What do you mean? You gotta sit a school night. We're not going out to the bar after the game. We're doing it before. That's the adult decision.
Do it before, during, after. Okay. Anyway, keep going. Yes. Yeah, Utah State. Yeah, and then after that game, they have another home game, North Texas, and then Abilene Christian, and then we're
on the road to the Pac-12, our future Big 12 mates in Arizona and Arizona State. One last thing I'll leave you with is we have some history that could be made this weekend. So get to the thing, and I'll let Sibby outline that for you.
Well, did we confirm it?
Tied. Oh, I thought you did, so I don't know, but maybe.
Okay, I think she has 2 more shutouts away. Madison White.
Just getting close.
2 more to tie Victoria Eason, who had just an incredible historic World Cup with New Zealand. Mm-hmm. This could be her time to tie it.
That's hype. We're getting close. I'm sure the team will be tweeting that stuff out if we are correct or not, but she will tie it at some point this year. I'll put that in the books.
I don't even want to say like that. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't even want to jinx it, or like,
it's true. Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
Is it a jinxable thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a big believer in jinxes. Like, as an athlete, I just didn't want to choose to believe in those because that gave someone else so much control over my well-being. Like, why should I believe that those are true? So I just believed control what you can control. But
that's deep. That's
now, if I jinxed myself, that's a different thing. Like, if I had a habit that I did before every game and I didn't do that would be stuck in my brain. Yeah. But if the fact that we could say something and that would jinx some other person, like I chose not to believe in that, but I know that people do, because like then anybody could say something and then my whole life's ruined because they said I was gonna have the best season of my life. Like, that doesn't seem fair. So I just choose not to believe that's true. I know sometimes coincidences happen, but I don't think we have the power to ruin her season. I just don't think we have that power.
Okay.
I hope I'm right.
Yeah. I know that's a good point.
I'm also
but she's close.
I'm not gonna feel guilty if something happens. I'm just be like, that was not our fault. Like, I don't subscribe to that theory, but I get people do. So,
but do subscribe.
Maddie
to
White's
channel.
too good to have something like that mess her up.
True, that's true. Still trap.
If a girl does a high tackle on her and hits her in the face, though, I will go beat that girl up.
Yes.
Warned.
Yes, we will.
That's karma. It's coming for you.
It's us. And so, yeah, that's what we got for soccer. And volleyball's coming up here in a few days.
So I have, let's see what we got on volleyball. They played their red and black scrimmage on Saturday. It looked like they did it in their practice gym, so it wasn't like a huge crowd could show up. But it seemed like there was a pretty good crowd. You talked about support. I know Jasmine Shavers was there. I saw her posting about it. So there was fellow athletes that showed up for that. A lot of family and friends were able to go watch it. For when I saw, the red team won the match 3-2. And then if Twitter knew what they were talking about, they said that the red team was primarily made up of newcomers. So that's a good sign, right?
Cool.
I did see the black team had the 2 girls that we interviewed on it.
Cool.
It was Korea and Curry.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I was supposed to combine her first name. I was like, Carissa?
Yeah.
I was like, that's not
you
right.
Could.
That's combining her name. Curry were on the black team, but it was 3-2, so it was close. I think the red team won it like on a close, fairly close last set. So
cool.
It looked fun. It looked exciting. I saw some freshmen doing some cool things in the highlights they posted. Some really high flyers. So that looked good. Looked like they're ready to go. They start on Friday. If you're in Lubbock, you can go watch some games. In the Under Amour Challenge, they're hosting it, and they're going to play 4 matches in 2 days. So Friday, you can watch them at 11 a.m. If you want to have a lunch break game, get over there. Their first match of the season against Houston Christian. And then that night will be like the first primetime game of the season against Wichita State. So fun D1 opponent there. And then Saturday, the big headliner that people are going to be like, oh, that's a cool name. They're playing Notre Dame. Or Notre Dame, however you want to say that. Notre Dame, I don't know. I say Notre Dame because I'm from the South. And they play them.
Does anybody really know? Or is there like a real way to say it? I think
it's just this. I'm sure they would say it a certain way. I have no idea. But and then they play them at 7 on Saturday. Cool. And they play ACU at 2 on Sunday to wrap the tournament up.
Let's go.
So I have a few notes on each of those, but just in case people wanted to know. To pick their games, go to all of them by all means. But if you can only make it to the 7 p.m. ones, that's totally fair. And those are 2 of the bigger names there. But Houston Christian is a tough team to start with. Looking at them on paper, they won their conference last year in the Southland, and they're picked to win it again this year. They returned quite a bit, including Anna Gadway, who was first team all conference the last 2 seasons, 2 in a row. Okay. Probably going to be it again. She's currently ranked 14th in program history, with 860 career kills.
Let's go.
She had 19 double-digit kill performances last season alone and ranked 6th in their conference with 3.09 kills per set.
Mark her up.
So she'll be one to watch. I'm sure we know that going in, but that's a tough opponent to start with, for sure. It'll be a good challenge out the gates at 11 a.m. on Friday. Get there. I'm sure tickets are pretty affordable. Sometimes they're even free for volleyball. I don't know if that's how they were when I was in school. They're quite more competitive now, so you might not have that liberty, but
why not support them?
They're a good team now. I mean, they made the tournament for the first time in a long time, a couple of years ago. They've narrowly missed it last year. They had some injuries late in the year, kind of fell apart. But we're gonna get back on track.
The personalities on this team are like really fun. You can even see it in photos, dude. Like some of their
they just love each
photos
other.
On their Twitter, I'm just like, y'all are so hype. It's so much fun. So much fun.
Yep, they do. They do. A lot of fun group to be around and to support. And Wichita State Friday, Brinley Kelly, I believe is the name. Briley Kelly, maybe, is the player to watch on their team. She was named the preseason player of the year in the American Athletic Conference. She's not just all conference, she's like it. In that conference, she was great. She was all conference last year, obviously. This year, predicted to win the player of the year. In the conference, she comes into the season with 986 career kills, needing 132 to break into the top 10 in Wichita State history. And their team, as a group, was picked to finish 3rd in the conference, but she's a stud.
Can you imagine being...
That's a lot of kills.
The leader, of the whole conference? That's wild.
Yeah, just you're the best player in the conference.
So casual. So cool. Anyway, great.
So we're going to have somebody... I don't know, I would say if soccer could do that or not, but we're so well-rounded, it'd be tough. Volleyball, I feel like, is the same. Just looking on paper, we we don't have, I mean, we have some stars, of course, but it just seems like they're pretty deep as well, from what I can tell with the incoming players. And then a Notre Dame, again, that's going to be the premier name. But as far as on paper, they haven't had as much success as these other teams in recent years. We actually beat them last year. So we went to South Bend last year to open up our season. They're returning the favor and coming back a part of this little tournament. This year, we beat them 2-1 sets last year. They were 10-18 last year, but they're historically a pretty decent program. They've made the tournament quite a bit. This will be the second year under a new coach, so I'd expect them to be a little bit better, and they're still Power 5 level talent. So they're going to have, like, we named off these other schools. They have great returners, great players, but the depth of talent will obviously be there for Notre Dame no matter what their record was. They were playing better teams. So you put them in these conferences, they'd probably be similar. So that'll be a fun one if you want to go out there and watch them play Notre Dame. It's always fun to say any team's playing that on Saturday at 7. That's right. I assume that'll be a popular one to go to. I don't know if Sibby's going to be able to make it to any of these or not.
Yeah, and no, what's wild is I started putting home games in my calendar. I'm like if it's not on my Google Calendar, it's not. It doesn't exist. That. And I'm looking and I'm like, wow,
there's so many to choose from.
I'm going to eat so many hot dogs.
I know they should really give you for dinner. They should really give you a season pass to all flipping games, or at least all the women's sports games.
Exactly. I was like, if there was like a women's pass,
you should ask them, not for a free one, but like, hey, do you have a women's?
Oh yeah,
pass
I would pay for it. Because I would love to not have to go through the process of like
buying a ticket,
buy a single ticket, and I
don't even think they sell season tickets for volleyball or softball. It's like, can you just let me, like,
or
so I
soccer.
don't have to buy a separate ticket every game? But I get why they can't. I guess I get it for softball and soccer because it's general admission, so they can't assign you a seat. And then, like, what if you don't show up? Like, it's just, they don't have the systems in place to do it. They could figure it out, but they just don't. But volleyball, it's at the basketball arena, right?
Well, yeah. I mean,
like,
it's at the USA.
There's plenty of seats. Like, they're not gonna run out of seats if they give you a season pass.
Yeah.
Soccer, I could see them like running into problems, forgetting like that if they have 500 season ticket holders and 300 don't show up, then there's just a big chunk of seats. But volleyball's such a huge arena, like, why not?
Yeah, I have so many thoughts about that, but
yeah, I know. There's got to be a way for it to happen, but
I would love it. I'm just saying, I would.
It would
pay,
make
like,
it
double.
easier, and making things easier.
Sorry,
I'd email the athletic department or the ticket people and be like, hey, I'm going to be going to all these games. I'm going to be going. Like, can I just get some sort of? I'll pay right now. Give me the price.
Dear Ultimate Red Raiders, hey, it's me. Will you let me pay you? Thanks.
A huge, like, a pass to get into these games, so I don't have to buy them every game.
I like, if they gave me like the grand total was this, if I bought them individually and they were like, okay, this is the total and then here's it double, I'd pay double. Yeah.
Well, you could probably probably buy every single home game at one time for sure. I'm sure they let you do that.
No,
you'd have to call or go to the ticket office. I bet it's not.
I'm a millennial. I'm not gonna call. You want me to call?
I
need to do it on my website.
If you really want to, if you walk into the ticket office, I think it's located under the football stadium. That's where it used to be located.
Talk to somebody, a human. I'm the kind of gal that, like, if I can't find it at the store, I leave.
Or the attendant will walk up to you and ask you if you need something. You're like, nope.
Don't.
And
I'm good. Everything is perfect.
You open up the app for that store on your phone and be like, oh, it's located in aisle 14, section B.
That's why I love
instead of asking the human in front of you.
Lowe's does a great job. They tell you exactly where the product is, but everywhere else,
Walmart tries.
You're losing a customer. There. You're losing a very anxious customer.
Anyway, guys, that is a classic trademarked Seeing Scarlet rant. We made it this far without doing one this episode, but we're back. We should note we didn't even put this out there. We're back to doing our longer weekly episodes again. If you didn't figure that out by now, and you could be listening to this on Apple Pods and Spotify right now as well, or you could get the real fun and follow us on YouTube. That's where you get to see the videos that we'll throw in and our fun faces. But whatever,
nice
it's fine.
Couch.
It's fine if you like to. But the last one, let's wrap up volleyball. Give them their shine. Notre Dame, that'll be fun. Go out. Get to say we beat Notre Dame 2 years in a row. It's always cool if we can make that happen again. And then ACU, our friends from down in Abilene, who are playing on Sunday, and then all these teams are playing each other as well. If you just love volleyball, you could go watch games that aren't Texas Tech. Yeah. Like Wichita and Notre Dame will play each other, Houston Christian, and so on and so forth. It's like a round robin thing. I don't know if there's a trophy involved. I don't know how that works, but it is kind of a round robin tournament. They have ACU is coming. They have a new coach this year. Seems like there's a new energy in the program. It's an alumni that's returning to the program. That's always fun, like we have with Gerlich and basketball. We have an alumni on the volleyball side and his assistant coach. They came back this year as well, so we get that going. And they returned 6 starters, including a really good freshman in Ashley Edmiston.
Yes,
something like that. She led the team last year with 292 total points, and she was all conference as a freshman. And she's returning, and the coach was kind of quoted about how like they're kind of building around her. So she's the one to watch for them. So another fun up and coming program that's always fun to play, and you get to finish out your weekend on Sunday with them. So it's actually 4 matches in 3 days, not 2 days. Sorry guys, I can't read. And I don't believe they have a night game on Sunday, so that's it for them.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I think I don't know who we were talking about, probably soccer, when they were just tired of scrimmaging against each other. They're like, give us somebody else.
I'm sure they feel the same.
I'm sure they're feeling the same way, and I'm so excited.
Volleyball's like softball in that way. They just play a lot of games every weekend because they'll do the same. Next weekend they're in another tournament of sorts, and it's very similar to softball scheduling. And that way, because they can, it's not as much wear and tear, so they can play a lot of games. So
yeah, the Red Raider Classic follows the Under Amour Challenge. So a lot of volleyball happening in Lubbock for the start of the school year.
Get out there. I know a lot of kids love volleyball. Like a lot of people in Lubbock, they play volleyball. So go out and watch.
It can be quick.
Students get out there and watch it. I would challenge everybody to make it. I did this when I was a student because someone challenged me to do it, and I was really not that excited about it. Even as someone that loves sports, but I was like, every sport, like that's a lot. But they like, no, you should go to every sport, at least one sport on campus this year to find out which ones you actually enjoy in person. Because there's a lot of sports, especially the Olympic sports, that I didn't play or watch growing up. And I remember going to a volleyball game and be like, this is pretty cool. Like and they were not good then. I don't think they won. I think we lost like every conference game for like 3 years in a row when I was in school. Yeah. But I went to a non-con game and they won, so maybe I should have gone to more games. I was the lucky charm. I don't know. But they were entertaining. Tennis was really hype. I don't think I ever went to golf, but like how? I don't even know if you can watch golf.
You gotta sneak in. That one you gotta sneak in and
pretend
like
you're
the
be in the clubhouse and like wait for them to walk by.
Yes.
But yeah, I would challenge anybody that's listening and just like, volleyball's not my thing, soccer's not my thing. Until you've tried it, you can't say that. And we proved a lot of people wrong last year with like, oh, women's basketball is not my thing. I'm like, okay, fine. You go to the game and you still say that, I won't argue with you. They go to the game and they're like, it was kind of fun actually. I'm like, yeah, it's basketball. These are just sports. Especially, I mean, soccer was really exciting. I'm hoping this time next week when we're recapping volleyball, we can say the same thing. But until we see it in front of us, we don't know. I don't know what to tell you what the volleyball season's going to be like, except we have really good athletes, have fun players. But until we see it in action, we don't quite know how excited we should or should not be. So we'll know that this time next week for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's what's awesome about like what we do, like me and you, Shelby, with this podcast, is telling y'all the stories and getting y'all in the loop because, okay, now we know. Like we know when they're playing and who they're playing and what these other teams, like Shelby just talked about. And I don't know, I think that adds so much value to like the sport itself and then being able to make the connection. So go show up. I feel like showing up is like the ultimate way to like support anything in life. Just show up.
Yeah just enjoy it. I mean, as a student especially, get into every sporting event for free. And like there's not much else you're doing, right? Just go out and hang out, go out afterwards.
What a cool thing to say too. Like, yeah, when I was at Tech, I went to every sporting like teams event, or like, you know what I mean? I don't know anybody who has done that.
I just said I did. So
well, you didn't say golf. Did you go to golf?
Well, yeah. If you can find a way to golf, you can beat me. So if you're listening to this, get to it. Well, wait. Does this count? When I was in grad school, I had to teach a golf class. So I was at multiple Texas Tech golf practices because they were at the same time that we were teaching classes. So I got to watch Texas Tech golf practice.
Shelby, everybody that's watching this or listening to this all collectively said, no, that doesn't count.
But you can't go watch. So
yeah, you can, dude.
I got to watch practice. That's the closest I could get.
No, I'm gonna wait for somebody to be like.
I'm sure you can.
There's
probably
they
like
go
a gathering.
And they apply at the golf course and they get hired and they're like, yes.
That's just as not counting as me teaching. You do have to be like a fan in the stands, like you do at normal golf events. Maybe there's a little congregating viewing area for one hole, like they do at other golf tournaments. I don't know.
Very specific.
But if you can beat me, I will buy you dinner.
Whoa!
If you're a student listening, or I don't even care if you're a student.
Oh,
if you're willing to pay, Sibby's gonna do it. That's fine.
I'm gonna
if Sibby does it, you have to send me a picture from every sporting event for the 23 to 24 season, and if we can tabulate them all together and check the boxes, I'll Venmo you $20.
Wow, that is on the internet. It's
up to 10 people.
Yeah.
Oh God.
There will be a contract.
Yeah, if you can do that, I'll do it.
That's amazing.
If you can beat me, you gotta go to golf.
This is so funny, and I really hope somebody
get to a golf match. There's probably like a sport that exists now that didn't exist when I was in school too, and they're gonna be like, "Well, then I have more than you." I don't know what that would be, but yeah,
maybe like the rodeo. I don't know.
No, I went to a rodeo event.
We need to stay on track.
I went to a rodeo. I'm a rodeo gal, so I know.
I know we're trying to stay on track. You're about to start talking about cows.
Anyway, guys, we'll talk about the rodeo team this spring when they get going. Actually, they're going already, so we'll talk about them later at a later date during the NFR in December, perhaps. Get to some soccer games. Hype.
Yes.
Football. We'll talk about football once they get started playing. We gave you our storylines. What else do you want from us? They're going to get going next weekend, I believe. Next weekend is the first home game.
That's nuts.
Craziness. I think we're going to be we might see our little faces on a co-podcast in the future with a few other podcasts picking the games. But let's see, that's kind of the fall sports. We're talking about 2 of them. Football starts next week. But right now it's all soccer, volleyball. So get out there and enjoy some fun action.
Yeah.
Till next time.
That's it.